Well, first of all, it's good to see you all. Thank you for the introduction. Dear fellow INSEAD's now alumni, Ilian, Urs, the faculty, and also the family friends of INSEAD. Congratulations to what you've done. I know what I'm talking about. So there are a few things. Ilian mentioned it. He was my macroeconomic professor in 1998. And actually what I didn't tell him, I don't know if you remember, but actually I had to skip class, which I know is a big deal here. It's a really big deal. But I had job interviews, so I hope I'm excused. And I did make it through INSEAD despite. So, despite all this, today I would like to speak to you as a fellow alumnus of INSEAD. At INSEAD, and we've just seen a few examples or heard a few examples, you've been through one of the most exciting and most probably demanding MBA classes that there are. You've been given more to read than you can ever read. You've been confronted with new concepts, marketing, strategy, organizational behavior, statistics, finance, and many, many more. When I came to INSEAD, I was an industrial designer. I could communicate with sketches, with drawings. I could think with my pen, but I definitely did not master an Excel sheet yet. And I understand in this group, there are 181 engineers or people with engineer backgrounds, 32% of the class. Most probably you know how that feels. That was hard work, and many of you have had that similar experience. But most importantly for me, it was the group work, and you have the group work here as a very unique concept, where you work in seemingly randomly chosen groups. Actually, they're not. And you get your grade by the group performance. That is a truly humbling experience, and it was a humbling experience for me. And that makes INSEAD very, very unique. It promotes diversity, it promotes to think across the borderline, and it challenges you every single day, and it makes you a better person. Coming from all the different talents of the world or different backgrounds of the world, I realized that there's a lot to learn, and also you will have heard that many times. Never stop learning, do not give up, do not stand still. Well, all of that is true, but today the experience I'd like to share with you is a very personal one. And it's a journey that started here, or started in INSEAD, at that time in Fontainebleau, and it has deeply influenced my life since then. During the coursework at INSEAD, there were students who organized extracurricular lectures, and those were topics outside of business. So in May of 1998, the Norwegian students have invited Erling Kagge for a lecture. And those who may know Erling, he's the first person to ski to the geographic South Pole, solo and unsupported, ever. He has climbed Everest, and he skied to the geographic North Pole, also unsupported, and only a few people in the world have ever managed to do so. Truly an inspiring lecture. So when I listened to this, I thought, hey, you can actually do this. You can really do this and realize a dream. So I walked over after the lecture, talked to him, and he gave me some tips and also contact. So I started to read and follow other polar expeditions right away. And yes, this was on top of the reading of INSEAD. And a whole new world opened up, really. Like when I came to INSEAD, something completely new. A world of polar exploration is a world of people that take seemingly impossible tasks, and we just heard from Ilian about those tasks ahead. Tasks that make them happen, and they're seemingly impossible. Experienced polar travelers can deal with unusual situations with ease, and at the same time remain extremely focused and very consistent. They're able to navigate truly challenging situations calmly and switch from transformational leadership, where they bring and hold a team together, to transactional leadership, where they take control of teams and lead them sometimes to safety. It's actually a fascinating world, so I started to prepare. I wanted to make this dream come true. So as I gained the experience over time, I found the right people who coached me, from whom I could learn. and you will have found that too. It is very important to surround yourself with the right people, with the right team, with the right mentors, and with the right coaches. And I made many mistakes on the way. In 2001, I crossed the Greenland ice cap on skis with a team, and I did a lot of things wrong. I had the wrong clothes, I didn't prepare my food well, I didn't drink enough, and I almost had to be flown out. Nevertheless, we made it, and I realized I have to prepare better, do more homework, and focus on the right things. And I found a lifelong coach, Lars Ebbesen, for the Scandinavians, you might know him, who has helped me through many topics since then, and also preparing for my own South Pole. So, focus on the right things. Similar in INSEAD, you learn your trade, you understand the background, you have to use the tools you learned, develop them further, and grow at every single step you take. INSEAD is just the beginning. You need to practice. You will make mistakes, embrace them, and learn from them. So for example, after my experience in Greenland, I designed most of my clothes for expedition myself. I have my sewing machine, I alternate clothes, and if it doesn't work, I change it again. So I make it work for me. Learning will make you understand where you are at your best and what you really need to focus on. And through this learning process, what I found is most important for me after all is to keep my rhythm. During my expedition, I run usually for 30 to 45 minutes. I stop and drink, and then I go on. With this, I can go on the whole entire day, 10 to 12 hours. Small stints, 30 minutes. Today, I do my meetings the same way. I have short meetings, mostly stand up. We take decisions on the spot, short break, and we go on. Find your personal rhythm. Know what you're good at calmly and confidently rely on your skill sets. You have obtained the right skill sets in INSEAD, and you will be at your best. And you can go a long way when you are at your best, and you know how to make a difference, and you know how to realize your dreams. But what makes the biggest difference of all in any organization, be it your own organization, like you founded your own business, or in a bigger organization that you work for, is ownership and accountability. The ultimate accountability for me was when I watched that plane that dropped me off on the ice shelf right on the edge of the Antarctic continent disappear into the horizon, and the next stop is 1,000 kilometers to the pole. If you make a mistake, you cannot blame anyone else than yourself. If you do not prepare well, you can't blame anyone than yourself. And if you don't keep your rhythm, you just haven't prepared enough. Do not ask anything of anyone that you are not prepared to do yourself. Take ownership, be accountable, and also hold others accountable for what they do. Give responsibility and delegate. And this includes also rewards and recognition. Recognize people that have done well. Celebrate and give your appreciation to everyone who has contributed. You will build up a fellowship that serves you well in your career. So when I stood at the South Pole marker almost 15 years after I listened to Erling Kage, it was the biggest reward I could give to everyone who coached me, who trained me, and to myself. And frankly speaking, I can still get that smile off my face when I think about it. So the question is, after INSEAD, what will make you smile? INSEAD is the beginning, and you have a dream, then you go for it, and make sure you aim high. Focus on what is really important and what really will get you there, and learn from your mistakes, but do not repeat them. Remember that you can't get there alone, and bring others on the journey. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be your fellow INSEAD alumni, or it could be your fellow workers. Own the task and make yourself accountable, and hold others accountable. And simply speaking, every one of us, every one of you, has her or his South Pole. So figure out what that is, and make sure you do the right steps. So class of 2020, 2020D, you have been to INSEAD, you have the skill sets, you have the background, and you can make a difference, no matter what, no matter where, and no matter for whom. and actually, you can make it happen. You can make dreams come true, so go for it. Just simply go for it and aim high. Congratulations, and thank you for having me. All the best. Thank you.